young woman jumps on, and Nyx leaps onto her back.
Hang on tight, little buddy.
She clings to the side of the crate as it carries her over the facility, full of starship parts. She drops onto the lowest level near a thruster and stays low as she moves among the spare parts.
Alright guys, number 1 by Ubisoft and Lucasfilm Games. From no more than a week ago, I mean, even Star Wars fanatics didn't even know this existed. Up until last week, we've got over here the first ever open world Star Wars game called Star Wars Outlaws. Coming out to PCs in the next generation of consoles early to mid next year, this is described by Ubisoft itself as what I've mentioned, the first ever open world Star Wars set between the events of Empire Strikes Back and Return to the Jedi. This is, by the way, in partnership with Massive Entertainment, which is best known for his work on the Division games. Take a look.
She opens fire with a blaster rifle, causing an explosion that sends people flying.
Dick Ferrick!
Stop her!
She tosses the spent rifle and runs for an open dock. Throwing a cable onto a mechanical arm, the young woman lowers herself out of the facility with Nyx on her back.
I think that went pretty well, right?
Still under fire, she hops on a speeder bike and heads across rocky terrain until she outruns the attack. Racing over a plateau, she catches air, finding 2 pursuers up ahead.
These guys don't quit!
Maneuvering between them, the young woman pulls ahead on a dirt road.
Hang on!
On the back of her bike, Nyx looks behind them.
There's Jonta's Hope. We made it, Nyx.
She drives beneath an arched entrance with letters hanging from above. Parking her bike, she hops off and stares toward a circular building. Text appears. Jonta's Hope, Toshara. She waits for a speeder to pass before crossing the road. Breaking into a jog, she goes by a Twi'lek woman leaning against a post. Weathered doors slide open for the young woman and Nyx to enter a dimly lit cantina, where they approach a humanoid droid wearing a long coat at the bar.
Hey,
We have reports of a fugitive in Jonta's Hope. Move to apprehend.
Kay runs outside.
That Imperial announcement wouldn't be about you, would it?
could be.
I told you not to trust her.
Not the first time we've outrun the Empire.
With Nyx running at her side, Kay sprints up a ramp onto a landing pad. They hurry up a ship's open ramp, and once inside, make a beeline for the cockpit, where ND5 waits in the co-pilot's seat.
We need to leave.
Yeah, no kidding.
As Kay sits in the pilot's chair, options appear over the seat, controls, and navigation computer. The ship lifts off, coasting clear of the landing pad before accelerating in an upward trajectory into the cloudy blue sky. The ship passes into a cloud, the thrusters glowing through the surrounding haze as the craft ascends. The haze clears as they leave the atmosphere. They arrive near disabled ships and floating debris. Text reads, Toshara Orbit, Toshara System.
Are we good?
Nothing on the sensors, yet.
Suddenly, firing ships close in on them.
Anybody on the sensors now?
TIE fighters on us.
Near the wreckage of a ship, Kay fires back.
Got one.
I feel inclined to remind you that we should shake the Empire, quickly.
Thanks, I'm working on it.
Kay flies through a hole in a giant...
Welcome to Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, a first-person action-adventure game that invites you to explore the engaging world of Avatar in an immersive open-world experience.
Ubisoft also just shared the first real look at Avatar Frontiers of Pandora in-game footage, a release date of December 7, 2023, which is actually amazing considering speculations were up to 2025. This is a first-person adventure game where players take on the role of a Na'vi soldier. This game's actually made with the use of Unreal Engine 5 and it's a very action-oriented game in nature. Quite a bit like Ubisoft's other franchise, Far Cry.
You are a stranger in your birthplace. Knowing the dangers posed by the RDA, you set out to take them down and look to secure the help of other Na'vi clans. Initially, you're perceived as an outsider, so you have to reconnect with your lost Na'vi heritage to gain their trust. On your adventure, you'll find your own path as you discover what it means to be Na'vi. You'll explore new regions of Pandora, each with their own unique biomes. The Kinglor Forest is a lush rainforest brimming with life and dense vegetation, in the shade of awe-inspiring floating mountains for life with your very own Ikram. The Ikram is a devoted companion that you can name, feed, and customize. Experiment with acrobatics and feel a rush of adrenaline as you dive from the sky and explore the open world of Pandora from the air. If you travel north, you'll get to the upper plains, an expansive grassland filled with contrasts and open views as far as the eye can see. The nomadic Seswa clan live here in symbiosis with gigantic beasts called Sakru. Earn the clan's trust, and they will teach you the art of riding dire horses. And further west, the mysterious clouded forest, where hidden in the mist, nothing is as it seems. Here lives the Kamatiri, a clan of healers with their own dark reasons to stay hidden. RDA operations are threatening the balance of Pandora. They build facilities of all sizes to exploit resources at any cost, spreading devastating pollution. In the process, animals are hurt and poached. You'll need to stop the RDA from ravaging your home, and when you are ready, you will take the fight to them. As a child of two worlds, you can learn to master multiple combat styles. Your powerful instincts allow you to get an overview of the battlefield, mark your enemies, and identify weak points. Traditional Na'vi weapons are versatile and precise. You can use the longbow to hit long-range targets, or the staff sling to set up traps. For a more explosive approach, you can leverage your human training and go for the blast of an assault rifle, a shotgun, or go bigger with the occasional rocket launcher. On foot, you can also rely on your incredible strength to take down AMP units. Above the clouds, your Ikran will help you in aerial combat against the RDA. Destroying RDA facilities will have a tangible impact on your world.
Cover the door. The beast could be anywhere. You have no idea.
With Marvel's Spider-Man 2 set for release on October 20th this year, this game is now live for pre-order for the price of $70. Now, if you didn't hear it before, Marvel's Spider-Man 2's map will be roughly twice the size of the previous games. They've added Queens and Brooklyn this time to the game, and you will be able to freely switch between Peter Parker's Spider-Man and Miles Morales while exploring the game's open world. However, not really through the game's story missions. Check it out just in case you missed it.
Sounds like Craven's checking off his.
We don't have much time. Move.
Guess we'll chat later. Genki, the lizard's loose at the fish market.
Must be sushi night.
You still got the hunter drone you hijacked?
Been really tough hiding it from my mom, but yeah, I'll boot up and see you there.
Hunters. Garage might lead to him. Connors tore through this place. He's out of control.
Go, go, go! Take him alive! Can't lose Connors. Harry's dying, and he's the only one who can help.
We won't. You take the drones, I got the jet skis. Cool if I borrow this?
This is really, really exciting.
Keep it tight, man. Watch out for those drones.
Don't worry, they think I'm a friendly.
We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
If you saw the 20-minute gameplay showcase of Starfield a few months ago, Bethesda just resurfaced like maybe 40 more minutes at the Xbox showcase of the game. Well, and not just that, a newly designed controller and even a headphone, optimized and remodeled for Starfield alone. This game is now coming to PCs and Xbox Series X September 6th this year. You probably know this, but just to begin with, the game is so huge in scale, it'll let you travel to over 1,000 planets. There is a lot more where that came from.
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory. We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons, to spacesuits, to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food. When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name. Let's head out.
There you are.
Don't let him escape!
Time to vanish.
Get back here, dog!
You probably heard this a couple of weeks ago, this is just a quick reminder. However, Assassin's Creed Mirage will hit the market on October 12th this year. Well, we got some gameplay of it too. Ubisoft came out and revealed a good chunk of that and said that game is now coming to PCs and all consoles as well. Mirage takes place in Baghdad. It's a shorter game in nature, I've said it before, and an action-adventure period. Check it out, in case you missed it.
This is the place. What do you see, Enkidu? Let us reconsider the approach. Act as usual.
That guard who likes me said she and Ali's followers are trying to overthrow the prince.
What madness! They will surely fail.
Shit! What? She got the bastards! What? Hey! Die now!
sky is safe, my friend. Survey the area in Kidu. There is my target.
Stripped its people of everything. Homes, lives, even their names. They are forced to dig and mine and sift through the wreckage of our world for essence, a magical substance that is raised to his glory.
It is mine. Delos demands it.
Moving on, we have, from a few months ago, labeled as purely an action RPG here. This is once again Atlas Fallen, actually from the same creators behind the game Surge. Although here in the new game, as opposed to Surge, you will have a Middle Eastern inspired theme with partially open world elements, and way bigger in scale. Here's a trailer. Game's releasing for PCs in the next generation of consoles only August 10th.
For hours.
I wouldn't complain. We're lucky enough the passage didn't collapse on us.
Crossing the land with your newfound powers is a much easier task than before your discovery. As you explore and empower the gauntlet, your abilities will evolve, letting you fly through the air or glide across the dunes as you see fit. Along the way, submerged structures, chests, and secrets will beckon you to discover them and restore more of the world. Much has been lost, but maybe not forever. Smaller enemies are quickly dispatched with your ever-evolving weaponry, but stay on your toes for the legendary creatures that will bar your way. Each is a massive and terrifying beast that will take all your skill, guile, and unique strategies to defeat. Every enemy has weak points, joints, limbs, or other places where the liberal application of force can yield great results. Targeting these and choosing the right ones at the right moments is key to success on Atlas against its many foes.
When I heard the stories about this gauntlet bearer, I knew we would cross paths again.
Well, a lot has happened, but let's get to someplace safe.
Say, you've been around for the past couple of weeks. We got a gameplay trailer for Alan Wake 2 last week, but Remedy went on and showed like maybe 30 more minutes of in-game footage of this game, in case that wasn't enough. Alan Wake 2, the much-awaited survival horror sequel story-heavy game, is now coming to PCs, Xbox Series, and even the PlayStation 5, meaning it's no longer a Microsoft exclusive. It's gonna be released on October 17 this year, and this is how it looks.
As a P, you must be aware of your weapon's durability. Weapon durability decreases every time you cast an attack or block an enemy's attack. Be mindful to repair your weapon from time to time so that the durability won't hold you back later on.
Lies of P was also resurfaced about a week ago with a new, technically finished footage gameplay, and believe it or not, it's releasing in about 2 months from now, precisely, for PCs and both generation of consoles too. Well, not really Switch. If you didn't know Lies of P from before, just imagine what you'd get by mixing Elden Ring or Bloodborne with a little bit of the recently released Atomic Heart. It's a Souls-like action RPG and you play as Pinocchio.
Groggy is a system that allows you to inaugurate stiffness on enemies. You'll notice that the enemy's HP bar occasionally shines bright upon attacking. This means the enemy has become groggy available. If you strike a groggy available enemy, it will fall into groggy status. Once an enemy enters groggy mode, you can commence a fatal attack and inflict immense damage. If you bump into a groggy monster, make sure to show them who's boss. If you can't escape it, face it. Utilize your guard abilities. Guarding enemy attacks will use up your stamina, but it also reduces some of the damage. The damage taken will be transferred to guard regain, which restores your health. Take a second blow before it's too late. Guarding might not be as easy against agitated monsters that use fury attacks. If you are confident with your reflexes, I suggest you try the Perfect Guard. A successful Perfect Guard will save you from receiving any damage, even from a fury attack. You can break enemies' weapons or cause groggy status on enemies through Perfect Guards. The Legion Arm is a prosthetic on P's left arm. The Legion Arm can exhibit special abilities by consuming the Legion Gauge, providing you an eclectic combat experience. The Legion Arm can also acquire new skills and abilities through modification. All monsters in Lies of P have their own respective, distinctive characteristics. Uncover their combat attributes and use them strategically to your advantage. So, puppets are all there are? I highly doubt that. You'll have to face all sorts of monsters, puppets only being one of them. You're not quite done yet. Bone-chilling bosses await you there. If a boss seems too intimidating, you might want to get help from a specter. In boss matches, you can summon a specter that will assist you in battle.
Welcome aboard, Immortals. What's our bearing, sir?
North by northeast, 5 knots.
Coming from a team of veterans who were previously working on Dead Space and Call of Duty games, as the first game from a team of a very small group over here, got once again Immortals of Aveum, a first-person fantasy or magic shooter, and a next-generation console exclusive. If you missed out on the update through the Summer Game Festival a few days ago, we got a new trailer for it, and today, another one. Not just that, even a release date of August 22nd. Yes, the game was actually delayed.
Gotta get to the control room.
Spiritual successor to the original 2014 release, it acts as a full reboot for the franchise, taking place in a vast, interconnected world over 1,000 years later. Lords of the Fallen is now coming out October 13 this year for PCs and the next generation of consoles too. We got a trailer for it, this is in case you missed it or just in general. A reboot of an almost 12-year-old, 9-year-old action RPG which was technically announced a year ago with the same name, as a dark fantasy Souls-like. Here's some gameplay you could tell it's quite a bit inspired by, not intentionally though, in the same vein as Elden Ring, and even Dark Souls. Treasures. And while Axiom presents its own challenges, untold horrors await in its nightmarish counterpart. Thanks to the Umbral Lamp, players can enter this lightless world at any time in one of two ways. When slain by the foes of Axiom, at which point you'll resurrect in the same location, albeit in Umbral, or by performing the Umbral Rift and willingly sacrificing one of your 2 lives. But the lamp holds yet more power, granting the ability to flay the soul from an enemy for some high damage attacks, and even manipulate the very environment of the Umbral world. However, the longer you spend in this wraith-ridden plane, the greater number of spectral terrors that will hunt you down. But as harrowing as the Hellions of Umbral are, they pale in comparison to the game's brutal boss battles. Towering above the ever-burning city of Calrath, this gargantuan monstrosity doesn't take kindly to would-be adventurers, the demonic presence within ready to devour any and all within sight. A merciless torturer, prepared to carry out any atrocity in the name of his faith. Tancred, Master of Castigations, is the devout chaplain of the hallowed Sentinels. Though beneath the pious veil, his very own flesh conceals a truth most foul. When Harrower Dervla ventured into the deepest depths of this world to thwart the undead rising, what she discovered was so utterly horrific that she renounced her former life in commitment to a far darker oath.
Let's not waste any time, Detective.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go get your uncle, Miss Hartwood.
Coming up behind that, it's one of the biggest surprise reveals of THQ Nordic Showcase last year. Alone in the Dark, a reimagining version of the first 3 games in the original series that were released more than 30 years ago. Now they're being built from the ground up and set to be released October 25 this year. To accompany this amazing news, we got a trailer for it, and in case you're just wondering, this is a series of horror survival called Classics.
Updated slickness to it that I liked as well.
You haven't seen a little girl by any chance, have you?
I don't think so.
You would have known if you did.
I need to get this letter to my niece. She would understand.
Jeremy sends a disturbing letter to Emily Hartwood, his niece, and it spooks her enough that she hires Detective Edward Carnby to find out what's going on.
Who are you?
Whoa, pardon me, excuse me. My name is Edward Carnby, private investigator. I hope you don't mind we let ourselves inside.
I do mind.
We knew early on that we had a character-driven story, so we needed to find some really good actors to make those characters come to life.
I knew of past iterations of the game. I mean, the video game world is something that I'm very interested in general, the horror game genre specifically.
David has a really strong presence as an actor, and he's able to make the funny moments really funny, but also the dramatic parts really intense.
Why the hell do I wake up hearing that damn voice? I know what it sounds like, but it's not what you think.
He's kind of a gruff detective, and he's like searching for something, and you know, he's hard-boiled, but he's got some humor to him and stuff like that. He's a bit of a trope or a type, and I like that. And I like the world and sort of how he's exploring this insanity amidst all this horror and stuff. I liked all those aspects.
Let me know if you find her. I'll be around.
We do not remember? Then
have you forgotten that you protected me from the dragon's flames?
You need only believe in your own destiny, Arisen.
Of course, that begs the question. If he's a mere mummer, then where might our true Arisen?
Empress Nadinia's life is in your hands, Sir Arisen.
Praise be, for only the Sovereign's guidance can lead us true. Long live the Sovereign of Vermont!
This might just be the longest wait in history, but not really. But we finally got our first look at the long-awaited, probably most anticipated of the past few years, Dragon's Dogma 2 last month. The new game is coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles only. Believe it or not, this beast here's following an almost 12-year development. Maybe not in gameplay, but at least in premise and story. However, we're still anticipating a release date for this one.
Controlled by the AI, and are now capable of even more precise decisions than in the previous title, helping you in the midst of battle. They can also help guide you to new locations, or give you a high five following a successful battle. It really feels like playing in a party with other players. Dragon's Dogma 2 is built with the RE engine, resulting in a dense world woven with high graphical fidelity. You'll enjoy a world roughly 4 times the size of the original Dragon's Dogma, with more to experience than ever before. The characters and monsters that populate the world are given life thanks to the power of AI, and players will feel like they've been reborn in this vibrant fantasy world. You can look forward to a variety of vocations to choose from. Your vocation will shape your Arisen's role throughout the adventure. Will you take on enemies with swords? Magic? It's all up to you. We'll have much more to share in the future, but for now, I want to go over a few sections from the trailer that show what we've improved for Dragon's Dogma 2. This game is designed to enable players to take on situations in their own way. In addition to AI, advanced technology like immersive physics brings pawns, monsters, and NPCs to life. What would happen if you destroyed that bridge, or if you pulled that monster's leg? What other exciting possibilities can you think of? Meet 2 characters pivotal to the story that also appear in the game's key art. Ulrika, a bow wielder with a deep connection to the Arisen, and Nadinia, a high priestess of the Beast Ring, which appear
into enemy camps and knife them in the back and steal the water from their steel suits. By the end of the game, perhaps you're running a guild. You have a fleet of vehicles, ornithopters flying in formation, sandbikes cruising across the desert beneath them, tanks kicking up a cloud of dust as you drive to a spice blow in the distance.
Now, Dune Awakening, however, doesn't currently have a confirmed release date nor window, but we know it's coming to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. My guess is it's not coming out within 2023, or if so, no sooner than holidays. Dune Awakening is a survival MMO, story-heavy single-player that allows you to explore the environments and the wildlife based off of movies, places like Arrakis, new cities and places as well. Here's a trailer in case you missed it.
Then the goal is to control the flow of spice on Arrakis. However, you're never safe. There's always someone lurking around the corner. Can you really trust your second in command? So the goal of the control phase is that you are clinging to control. In Dune Awakening, we have a wide array of combat capabilities. Infantry consists of melee, with knives, swords. You have ranged weaponry, gas-powered, las guns. You have gadgets, you have abilities, and building on that, we have ground vehicles, we have air vehicles with their own combat capabilities. And when all of this comes together, you'll find yourself in the desert, in a spice harvesting operation. And there might be another guild attacking you to get your spice. And whenever you get into combat in the desert of Arrakis, try to get it over with quickly, because not only are you fighting human combatants, but the planet Arrakis itself is the greatest protagonist there is. As you're fighting in the desert, there might be a sandstorm rolling in, and the sandworm will be attracted.
From earlier this year, although been in development for over 2 years now, off and on, but in case you missed it, we've got over here Instinction. This is almost a Tomb Raider inspired dinosaur survival sim and an FPS that's being built with the use of Unreal Engine 5 into a open world. Anyway, here's another trailer that released for it a couple of days ago. The game is now coming to PCs, both generation of consoles, either by the end of 2024 or 2025 we're here. And last but not least, I mentioned this one maybe once around the same time now, only last year. Finally, we've got some news on ExeKiller. This is a first-person Western-themed but retro-futuristic, also post-apocalyptic first-person shooter and a single-player game that has hints of the game Wild West, but not in third-person view. Here's a trailer we came across a few days ago, and the word that the game is coming out in 2025 and for PCs only.
What the hell is going on here?
Event flag for security. Uplink error.
Shit, I'm out.
Please stand.
Finally. Was it worth it? Of course it was.